Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video I am going to be doing a makeup routine that is perfect for if you are heading back to school. So this is like very lightweight makeup, undetectable, sort of no makeup. It's been some years since I was actually getting ready to go to school, and I remember my school was quite strict about what you could wear and what you couldn't wear, and this is like what I would do, remembering what the rules were, which were basically like you can't wear makeup, but of course we all did. This is the products that I would recommend, and this is what I would do if you took me back 15 years ish and put me back in school. Before we start, I just wanted to say, if you are heading back to school this September and you hate school, if you struggle, if you don't have very many friends, if you really just hate going to school, if it really makes you really anxious and you just don't want to go, and everybody around you, because this was me when I went to school, if everybody around you says these are the best years of your life, like you just have to enjoy it, these are the best years of your life, it's not true. They're not the best years of your life. If you are struggling, my heart goes out to you, because like I say, this was the school experience and teenage experience that I had. No amount of money in the world would make me, at nearly 30, go back to my school years now. So I just wanted to start by saying that if you are struggling, I'm really sorry that you're struggling, but it does get better. And now we're going to get on to the makeup. All of this is like affordable drugstore, but there are a few things that you can't necessarily get on the UK high street, so I've got a few options for a few of the different products, but all of these are very affordable products. They're all cruelty free, because that's all we do on this channel here. Let's stop rambling and get on to the makeup, shall we, because this is quite a quick routine. Starting with foundation, my all-time favourite foundation just happens to be quite a lightweight one. This is the Relove Super Serum Hyaluronic Acid foundation. This is a brand new bottle, I'm so excited, but I am going to mix it in with a different one just to get the right colour for me, but this is also a great foundation. This is the Lottie London Velvet Skin Tint. Both of these are really beautiful, lightweight, light coverage, very undetectable, very natural finish foundations. I will say this routine is also perfect for dry skin. It's also perfect for blue eyes. Some of the products that I've got here are like for obviously my skin tone, for somebody that looks like me, but swap and change products as you wish. I'm just going to take a little bit of each of these foundations on the back of my hand and mix them together. Like I say, just to get the perfect shade for me, you only need one. I also highly recommend using a sponge. I just find it so much quicker than blending out with a brush. I just think, you know, it's probably quite early in the morning as you're getting ready for school, so anything that can make this process any quicker, I'm all here for. This is like pretty much what I do still every day, just for work. A lightweight base, glowy but natural, all the things, and then something quite simple on the eye. We are going to be doing a little bit of eye makeup today. I know I definitely pushed the boundaries when it came to makeup when I was at school. We weren't allowed to wear anything. I definitely did, but you know, please still follow your rules, whatever your rules are at your place of education, or you know, even for work. Like this would be a really easy like work routine. So this is the foundation all blended out. It just looks so natural. I have taken this like right over my eyes just to like cancel out any like redness that I have across the eyelids and things like that, but I am just going to mention two concealers as well, because like I say, some of these you can't get very easily on the UK high street, so I just wanted to mention both. First up is the Essence Skin Loving Sensitive Concealer. I love the packaging of this one. but I also love the product. It's a really nice, hydrating, lightweight feeling concealer, but there is the perfect amount of coverage to just cancel out those dark circles. And this one is similar, and you can get this one on the high street. This is 17, which is Boots' own brand. The Second Skin Enhancing Concealer. I mean, you can see it's like going see-through. I've used this so much. Both of these are beautiful. I'm going to use the Essence one today because I feel like I've been banging on about that 17 one for so long. I'm just going to put a little bit right on the inner corner. Of course, if you had any breakouts or anything that you wanted to cover as well, this would be what I would use for that too. I was so lucky at school that I didn't struggle with acne or spots or anything like that. I still have dry skin. I always had dry skin at school, and I can't recommend a skincare routine for school because my skincare routine when I went to school, are you ready for this, was a Huggies Pure baby wipe. They were in like a light creamy coloured package, and that was it. Just a baby wipe. No moisturiser, no serums, nothing. A baby wipe. What was I thinking? I mean, I could maybe do what I would recommend now, knowing what I know now, but my goodness, my skincare routine when I was at school, I mean, there wasn't one. There just wasn't one. For bronzer, this is the actual bronzer that I used to use, and I still think that it's great. It's still one of my favourites, so I'm going to recommend you this one because, firstly, it's very affordable. All of these products are, but this one is so affordable. The pan is absolutely huge. You will never run out of it. It's got a few different shades. It's a matte finish, which I feel like you don't want something too shimmery, too glittery. That will just make it look more obvious. This is the MUA Bronzed Perfection Matte Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunset Tan. They have got a few shades, and I am just going to warm up the face with this a little bit. I would be interested to know actually if there's any products that you used to use when you were at school. Do you still use any of them now? Because this is definitely one that I used to use when I was at school, and I still use it all the time. Then for blush, I just had to choose one of these because they're so soft and natural looking on the skin. These are the Collection Soft Glow blushes. Again, so affordable. They've got a few different shades as well. This one is in the shade 2 Bashful, and this is luminous, but it's not like chunky or glittery. It's so soft, and it just adds a really nice amount of colour to the skin. I definitely didn't used to wear blush when I was at school, so this wouldn't have been a product that I would have ever looked at because I had quite a lot of, and still have quite a lot of redness in my skin. I never wanted to add blush. I only ever wore bronzer, hence why I got one that was such a big pan. I never ever wore blush, but I feel like now I would absolutely wear blush. I feel like it just changes my whole appearance. And like I say, because this has that slight little bit of luminosity to it, I'm not going to go with a highlight. I think that that would just be too much. Of course you can if you want to, if you think that your school would allow you to do that. My school definitely would not have done. Another thing that I never used to do when I was at school, which just saddens me to my core, I never used to do anything with my brows, but I am going to today because I've grown up and I've learnt my mistakes. So this is the e.l.f. Instant Lift Brow Pencil. This is in the shade Neutral Brown, and I'm also going in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. This is definitely an optional step, but it's not optional to me. I need this. But the Instant Lift Pencil is so easy to use. It's not like a very fine pencil, so you don't have to like keep going in and doing like the little hair-like strokes, but it's definitely enough to just make it look like you've got some brows. So I'm going to go ahead and find something with a mirror on it and then I'll do my brows and I'll be right back. So the brows are done, and now we're going to move on to the eyes. And I just wanted to say, like, before we get onto the eyes, I don't feel like you necessarily need a huge amount of brushes. Like, I've got quite a few because I don't wash them as much as I should, But the only brush that I'm going to be using on my eyes today is this one here, and I got this in a W7 palette. I feel like the brushes that you get in palettes now are so much better than the brushes that we used to get in palettes like 15 years ago. So like I said, this is one out of a W7 eyeshadow palette. On one end it is a big fluffy brush, and then the other end is more like a dense flat sort of pencil brush, and this will be perfect. This will do absolutely what we need it to do. So I'm going to go back in with this bronzer. This is really nice across the eyes as well. I'm going in with the fluffy brush, and I'm just going to run this right along the crease, just a tiny little bit, because obviously you put like that foundation or that concealer across your eyes and you want to like basically add that shadow back in. So just put in a little bit of this right through there like that. I'm also just running that under my eyes again, just to add that little bit of a shadow back in, and because it's the same colour as like the bronzer that we got on the face, it just sort of all feels, you know, cohesive. And then to like finish off the eyes, I feel like a brown eyeliner will just get you so far. You don't necessarily need an eyeshadow palette. I feel like either of these, they both work very similar, but either of these are great. So the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in 35 Sparkling Brown, or the Crayon Eyeliner. This is in the from Beauty Bay. Sorry, this is in the shade Cushion. I will show you these close up. So the white one is the Beauty Bay one, and the brown one is the Essence one. These are so creamy, so like pigmented on the first swipe. So the one on the top there is the Essence one, and the one on the bottom is the Beauty Bay one. I think I'm going to use the Beauty Bay one today, just because I really like this tone on my eyes, and I will show you how I create a very natural but defined lash line. This is so easy, so like natural looking, because a brown is always going to look more natural than like a black, and this tone will just make blue eyes look incredible. So all I do is I get another little mirror and I look down into it, squiggle along in between the lashes. So it's only depositing a really tiny amount of that crayon in between the lashes. But can you see the difference there, where I've just got a tiny little bit of brown on the upper lashes, and then this side where there's nothing, it adds the tiniest, most subtle amount of colour, but it just makes your eyes pop. It just adds that tiny little bit more dimension. So then I'm just going to go in really lightly with the other end of this brush and just tap over it, just to blend it in a tiny little bit. Don't want to be like smudging this away completely, but just tapping it in to that upper lash line. Now in my everyday grown-up life, because I'm not at school anymore, I would normally like squiggle this sort of here and add a tiny little bit of a wing, but I'm not going to do that today. This is all like natural, and like I say, it just adds the tiniest little bit of definition. Nobody would look at me and think I had like eyeliner or eyeshadow smudged onto this side, but it just adds a little bit of something, and I just love these tiny little steps, just tiny little subtle steps to make you feel a little bit more confident on your school day, but without looking like, you know, you're dressed up to the nines. So I did also just smudge that crayon under the outer sort of third on the lower lash line, and again just smudged it out with the same little brush, again just to add a little bit more definition. And the mascara that I'm going to recommend is this one here, the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. Firstly, this comes in a brown, and I feel like if I was at school now, I probably would buy the brown, just because it's a little bit more natural. It looks a little bit more natural. How else can I say the same thing twice? But I just feel like that would probably be my preference. I only have the black, but one coat of this will give you really long, really fluttery lashes, but that you can't really tell you're wearing mascara. Like, it's not my usual type of mascara where it's like clumped together and like very obvious. I feel like this is, I'm gonna say it again but in a different way, very natural looking. So just imagine that that mascara is a brown, and I feel like it's defining the eyes, it's making my eyes pop, but it doesn't look like I've got anything crazy on, because I don't. It's just that eyeliner and then like one little lick of mascara, and I just feel like it's so fresh and natural looking, and I just love it. So I definitely would have just put on like a, in fact I have one here, I definitely in my time at school would have just put on like a Nivea stick. Absolutely nothing wrong with these. There's some that are like these ones, these are my favourite ones, they like watermelon shine, so they're just like a really nice little wash of colour. Really like these when I was at school and still really like them. However, the products that I'm going to be putting on today is one of these, the Relove Baby Gloss. This is in the shade Sugar. It's a really beautiful slight wash of colour. It's nothing crazy. Obviously it's tiny, so you could just pop it in your bag, take it with you, and that is the finished look. So let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any products that you still use that you definitely used when you were at school, because there's a few that I still use. If you find a great product, you find a great product. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie. I post videos just like this 3 times a week, on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. It's always affordable and it's always cruelty free. It's not always this natural looking. I often do a lot more than this, but if you want to see more from me, I would love it if you would subscribe down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, but until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.